Bigfoot on the ridgeline, dogman in the shadow in the pine, yellow eyes that shine, vault to keep.
Okay, this is the first live stream. Oh shit, I'm so loud. This is the first live stream back, and I'm hoping.
Where the map bends in the deep dark.
Okay, having a little technical.
Map bends in the deep dark of the woods in the back of our.
All right, hopefully that shut up now. All right, can y'all hear me? Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Hold on just a second, John. There we go. Somehow I got some stuff clicked on that wasn't supposed to be clicked on. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I've got stuff double playing in the background. There, maybe that'll stop doing it. Can you hear me, John?
I can hear you. Can you hear me all right?
Oh yeah.
John, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Is
Good.
my voice too loud?
No,
Oh,
you're
no.
perfect.
No, what about me?
Nope, you're perfect.
You're good?
Okay. Well, like I said, I got a few technical issues I was trying to work out. It's been what 3 years since I did
Yeah.
this.
Same here. I haven't done anything in like at least over a year, and I came in here and nothing was working. It said I had 10,000 emails to go through when I was looking for you. So I was like, okay, that's not going to work. I had to find another way to get in.
Well, like I said, always technical issues. That's fun to have.
Always technical issues, and I hope I don't have an avalanche because I got stuff piled up high everywhere.
Well, that's like I'm still trying to get used to not. I just have to have reading glasses up close, so that means
Right.
I have to lean in. I'm going to fix this where it goes to my big screen, so I don't have to do this sitting right here. But
Is this
now
going to
I
be
have-
streaming?
yeah, it's streaming now, or it's supposed to be
On
streaming.
on Volta Nightmares? Is that right?
Yep. Vault of Nightmares. So far, trying to see how many people's in here.
I'm trying to find it online. I'm not seeing it. I'm in the Volta Nightmares under live.
Well, there's people in here. I don't know if I screwed something up or.
No, there's people in here. I can't see it on the screen either.
Okay. Let me try this a different way.
If y'all can give us a 1 in the chat.
I see William Torres. I saw Eddie Petch.
11 total, they said. Hey, for as long as I've been away, even if there's 1 in here. But we have a lot of interesting things coming up, y'all. All of y'all were unanimous across the board when I decided to fire this back up that y'all wanted a live stream. So I figured go ahead, get one and get it going. So and I said, because we got some bugs and some kinks and everything else to work out.
Okay, I found it.
Well, and I'm swapping over everything from Windows to Mac. So that's fun too, because I'm teaching myself Mac. They don't talk to each other. So
Welcome to the Mac crowd.
Yeah, I come over to the dark side.
Yeah, y'all can have it. I'll stay with my Android.
Oh,
I'll eventually
I got
talk
an
her
Android
into it.
around here somewhere just to look at.
Well, I still have a Note 9 here that I've got some stuff on, and then like I said, I'm on the iPhone. I'm working on getting the MacBook thing like it's supposed to be. So if I sound funny, new soundboard, everything, the camera, like if I do this, should bring the camera in, but
Yeah, it is.
okay. But I said there's a delay because I can't see now. Y'all, I can't really see the chat over here. I'm trying to get it to. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, I figured the first night back, the first show, not only would I have my lovely wife in here because we're going to tell a couple of stories too. And I thought I'd have my good buddy John to come in here and be in here. Hold on. I got to get a link to send my other partner in crime because he'll throw a fit if I don't.
Well, John, what have you been up to?
Everything and nothing all at the same time. That's what I always say.
I was hoping to hear something exciting, but okay.
I don't have anything exciting yet, but I do have a lot of buns in the oven.
Okay. That's better than no buns in the oven.
Right.
Well, do you want to talk about one of those? Because one of those involves something that's been in the works for what now? 5-6 years?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get we're live.
Oh yeah, we're live.
Okay. Yeah, so for anyone who might not know, Volt put out a story called Booger Valley years ago, and I approached him about trying to make that into a film. And it took me a couple of years, especially with COVID, but I got a script done, and I've got a trailer up. It's an AI trailer, but I've gotten a lot of great feedback about it. And the trailer's like 1 minute and 14 seconds, I believe. And I had a buddy of mine in Hollywood that made it. Not only that, he sent it out to some of his people. And there was a guy that works on creature effects that worked on some of the Predator suits that was interested in it. He said we got a little feedback there. Said he'd be interested. Okay. He said he'd be interested in being a part of it. So that was good. Also, I went to New Zealand and went and met some guys from Weta Workshop that did Lord of the Rings. They did Predator Badlands. They did the new Tron Ares movie. They've done a lot of major films lately. And I approached those guys about doing creature effects and working on the project. So far, I've got one creature guy and designer that worked on all the Lord of the Rings and the Matrix. And I got another guy that is a producer that's also interested in working on the project. So I'm talking with a guy in Hollywood about trying to maybe do a Kickstarter program, because the thing is, we're kind of stuck in limbo. I need to raise money. So I've got a trailer. I got a splash slide up. The movie's called beforedarkmovie.com. That's beforedarkmovie.com. People can look that up. You can sign up on a little list there of contact lists and to help try to support the project. And you can see the movie trailer. You can see a brief description and in the movie trailer. So now I need to raise money to actually start to do filming on the project, and that's what we're looking at now. I'm in the local film crew here in Louisiana, where I'm at. Unfortunately, it's in a state of kind of disarray, but I'm trying to talk with those guys about being able to work on the project as well. So, but yeah, I'm looking for location and looking for funding to be able to do filming, and that's where we're at. But so far, I'm happy with the script. I do need to hire. The next real step is I need to hire a writer in Hollywood to do what's called a polish edit job. So they'll take my script and they'll put it in perfect format so that producers will take it seriously. Because that's if you don't have something that's perfect, they won't even look at it. The first thing a producer does when he gets a script, you got to think. I mean, they get piles and piles of scripts, man. So the first thing they do is weed that pile out. So they'll hire an underling that's got to spend his whole night or weekend going through all those scripts, and he's got to pick out the wheat from the chaff to bring to the producer, and pray to God the producer likes one of them. That's how it works. So if you don't have, they'll flip through it, and if they see any mistakes, it's in the trash. That's the first step. It's got to look completely professional. So it's common to have a real writer do a writer polish edit job on a script. So that's and that takes depending on the level of the writer. I was talking to one who has already sold some films for $400,000, $200,000 to $400,000. So that's the level I'm working at as far as that. And then the next thing would be hiring the creator guy to start doing some basically sketches and sculpting maybe of the creature so that you can present those in what's called a pitch pack and present that to like the big level producers. So, but I have a feeling the way things are going and the way there's a problem in Hollywood right now. I don't know if everyone's aware of, and that is, in order for studios or independents like me to get funding, you have to go to banks and they act as gatekeepers. Well, thanks to companies like BlackRock, it's become an industry standard that you can't get funding for a film from the banks unless you add so much DEI, so much woke content. All right. Just for the sake of being woke and DEI. All right. Not because it's any part of the story or anything like that, but just because they're pushing a political agenda. All right. So that's why you see all these films coming out, like the Christopher Nolan film, where people are angry that they turned Helena Troy into a black woman, when obviously it's written in the script that, she had cream skin and all this kind of stuff. Why are they doing things like that? That's why.
Because it's Hollywood and like to screw everything up.
I thought they were working on changing that, though, John. I thought I saw that in the news recently that they were working on getting rid of that.
That's all BS. That's why every film that comes out now has got to be like feminist, got to be a complete race changing of everything. Not because it fits the project, but just because they're forcing it as a social agenda. So as an independent, I refuse to sign anything like that, which means I've got to come up with funding myself, but I'm working on that too.
Well, that's like, why I've been gone. Like I said, in recovering, I started writing, and I've got 4 books that I'm in the process of doing. I think I sent you part of one, but one is an encounter book on stories that I've had for years. And I actually got Catt to read some of that. It's the first story, and I'm going to put that out, put a little video together and put that out on the channel this week. And me and her were talking. I think we're going to do a couple of more. Now, these encounters, I will tell you up front, I've had them for so long most of the people are probably dead and gone, and or I don't have contact with them no more. So I cannot say, well, I can bring them on for proof. They're encounters that I've had for 20 years plus, probably. Some of them are newer, but they're, to my knowledge, they're true. I've had to change some stuff in them, like take names of towns out, stuff like that, because I don't want someone to go bother somebody that is at this place now that didn't have nothing to do with this story, because, it 20 years ago. So I've done that. A couple of people's names have been changed because in my notes, it says down there they do not want to be named. So I just gave them a name. That way, John, talking to people, some people just don't want to be named. They'll tell you the story.
You got to be careful with that without having almost written signatures of people and make up names in any story.
Yep. Well, like I said, that's what I'll tell people is, like I said, I've changed some names. I definitely sanitized the stuff so it doesn't have town names or stuff like that, because I'm doing that because either I think it's safer or that's the way in my notes when I wrote them at the time they want it to be done. So there's some great stories. I think right now that book has got 31 stories. Some of them may have been heard other places or whatever, but I put them all together for this book. And I said, I got Catt to read one off because I'm going to start trying to drop. My goal is to drop something every day, or at least 5 days a week. And I think I'm going to start doing live streams on Sunday nights, probably around this time or earlier. Try to do them between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. That way people can sit down, relax, and rest. And I don't think nobody else is really doing nothing this time slot, and which it doesn't matter. I don't think I've been gone so long. There's not that many people going to come over right now and listen, but I am working on getting a Patreon, and what we're going to do is, like, these stories and encounters that people are sending me, I'm going to either have Catt read them. Now, I do use AI now, some AI stuff, but it's stuff that I locally control. Like my computer and stuff like that has its own AI engine built into it, and I use it to either to build a narrator that you can understand, because most people can't even understand me. So I can't understand myself sometimes listening back. But I use it for that. I also use it to help clean up my writing, because I taught myself how to write, and like punctuation and fixing sentences where I'll have like 12 these or ands or whatever, and I can put it in that software and it will flag that and ask me, okay, here we could use this word. It's my writing, it's just helping me with the structure of it. And that has been a big help, because I did not understand there's like 12 different ways to write something. Just off the top of my head, probably more. That's like writing. I've got one nonfiction book coming out. Writing nonfiction is not the same as writing fiction. Nowhere near it. We have that going on, but I think on the Patreon, the way we're going to do this is, I didn't realize Patreon's real weird about their how much to do the charging. There's like set stuff in a bunch of it, and I'm trying to figure out, because I told everybody I was going to do a $1.99, and I think the encounters and stuff like that, that's where I'm going to put that. I think we're going to do another one because we're going to do special live streams, special interview stuff that YouTube either hides from other people by shadow banning, or they'll just hit the channel because you mentioned one word or something else that they didn't like. So we're going to go over there with that because sometimes our live stream, look, I can't control a guest and what they're going to say. I can ask them, hey, don't say this or don't talk about this, but I can't at the end of the day control them because it's going out live. So I would just rather go over to where I can let them have full range because I don't like controlling, trying to tell someone either how to tell a story, what to talk about, or what not to talk. And then some people, I clean my language up a lot, but I still have bad words that come out. So that's the reason why.
When it comes to people telling, and if you really want someone to tell their true encounter, a real story, once they start reliving it, you're going to have some words in there that may or may not be YouTube approved. And you really can't ask them to change that because then you're asking them not to relive the encounter and you're not going to get a true depiction of what happened.
Exactly. So I think we're going to put those over on the Patreon and do a $4.99. My thing is I'm moving a lot of the stuff to Patreon for, the simple fact is the censorship here. And Bell can tell you the same thing. He's had shows that he done back years ago that are coming down because of one word or the way you wrote something or you showed something. And that's if I'm going to do this, I don't want to come back and do it with one hand tied behind my back. So
they just figuring took 2 of my channels down, 2 of my shows.
Yeah, so
just recently.
I want
reason, John, if I could ask, what was the reason they gave you to take them down?
They didn't give me any reason. They didn't.
That's the thing. They don't have to.
They're not on my site anymore. And
they're
one
gone.
of them was like over 2 years old, and the other one was over almost 2 years. And one of them was on. I interviewed a guy who worked in an underground military base that said that they briefed him on a real military zombie virus. 100% gone. Now I did a second show where I backed up claims about that, and that one's still up. Then I did another show where he came back on and talked about a 15-foot giant that worked in a lab in an underground military base. And that was a great show. And he got a knock from the feds the next day saying he can't talk about that on my show anymore. And that one was removed after it had been up for over a year and a half to 2 years. And not only that, but I stopped doing shows on my channel because I caught them removing subscribers and removing views from my channel. So if I had a show that got like 20,000 views, they'll knock it down to like 1,900.
Well,
so I wonder if all of this has anything to do with the disclosure that's going on right now. They want to talk about the UFOs. They want to talk about this. And they're talking about it in politics. So I wonder if they're trying to remove everything that's online so that it doesn't interfere with what their narrative is going to be.
It threatens their narrative, but that's why it got me. Why these 2 things? One on giants, which talked about a lot of biblical stuff, by the way. And 2, why zombie virus stuff?
Well,
anything having to do with viruses is going to come down.
Yep. Anything.
No, but it had been up for 2 years.
Yeah, but they changed the algorithm a couple months ago. That's just like, all right, there's 5 algorithms that I know of that's going through YouTube. Now, that's just the ones that I know about. If you're like, I'm not monetized anymore. So there's 2 of them that my channel goes through automatically, but the others can look too. But most of the time, they don't worry about the other 3. Don't worry about. They just look at monetized channels. And like I said, there's channel Dixie Cryptid got took down because they didn't like the way his video looked. and
Well, did he get taken down or did he just get demonetized? He got.
Well, that's the thing. He got demonetized.
Right.
And
I never was monetized.
Huh?
I never was monetized because I didn't want them controlling what I had to say.
And yet they still.
And they still.
See, that's the other thing. I'm not going to remonetize this channel. I said it in the video that me and Catt did. I'd let people help with, and I was appreciative of the help because it helped us go places to do videos and stuff like that. And I heard a whole bunch of crap about that. So, and now YouTube will actually hit you for doing that. That's another reason why to get hit. So like I said, you want to support, you want to help out the channel. When I get the other site up, the Patreon, if you can go subscribe to one. If you subscribe to the $4.99 tier, I think you get the lower tier too. I think if you subscribe to the upper tier, you automatically get the lower tier. The other thing, the reason why I'm doing that is when I was monetized, I did not realize at the very end of that, let's say somebody did a super chat or something else here. Do you know YouTube was taking 40% of that?
Wow.
Yeah. Your monetization, they were getting anywhere from 35 to 40%. So, okay, but I can do it for free and you don't take nothing. So I would rather now Patreon, I think takes 10 or 15. I'm not sure, but.
And if I'm correct, Patreon doesn't have ads.
No, that's the other thing. They won't have ads. Like I said, if you want to support the channel, you want to help out, just go if you can. If you can't, I understand. There's, like I said, things are getting crazy and expensive, more expensive going to, like I said, anyway, just go to the Patreon link and subscribe, and I hope you're entertained. Okay. Sorry about that. I actually have a new soundboard. My other one, right as I was getting everything ready, my other soundboard, I don't know if lightning came in on it or what was going on, but is it still clipping you? Is it too loud?
It's still clipping a little bit, but it's fine. What is John's name up there? Johnny B?
Johnny B.
Okay.
That's what I go by online.
I like that. I didn't know that. Mr. Bill. Sorry.
Is it still clipping? Is it still loud?
He needs to talk.
I'm trying to adjust on my end, but I think the controls on yours.
I think you're fine.
What about me? I thought they said I was clipping.
No, you're just a little tinny. You sound a little.
They said Johnny, me.
No, yeah, John was clipping a little bit.
Now?
No, you're fine. Hey, but can we talk about like that Johnny B was on TV? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hold on.
The expert of Dogman.
Yes, the Dogman expert, John Bell. Please discuss what happened.
They called me a military expert. I did not claim to be
a military expert.
I did not claim to be an expert on anything.
Please tell everyone what channel, what show, what you did, please.
I was invited onto Josh Gates' Expedition X on Discovery Channel, and it was on season 8. Called episode was called Dogman. It appeared in October of about 2 years ago now, but yeah, they called me and asked me a bunch of questions about a bunch of stuff on the topic. They wanted to interview truck driver Joe, as I call him, that I interviewed on my channel, and they heard the interview and they said, we want to make a show about this. So first they got in touch with Joe, and talk to him. And he comes across as a very credible guy telling his story. He's been on other channels. He was on the confessionals, I think, recently. He's been doing the rounds on a lot of different channels and does a great job. I love to hear him, see him out there. He and I have become friends, and I still stay in touch with him. I love the guy. And after a while, the show kept calling me, asking me questions. And finally they said, hey, will you come on the show as a, as an authority on the topic? And I said, sure. They told me four times. They said, listen, we brought you on here because of all the people we talked to. You were the most knowledgeable on the topic. And they said, that's the reason we chose you instead of other people that they were talking to at the time.
Yeah. I wonder who they talked.
People they were talking to.
I wonder who else they talked to that said, hey, you need to get a hold of Bill.
I wonder who it was that was bragging about going to be on the show, and it wasn't them. It was me.
Well,
because people were putting out that they were going to be on that show, and they weren't. I was. But anyway, the show turned out really, really good. There's some inside baseball I can't talk about where things got real. I can't even talk about that. I'll tell you in private. But the show said we thought this was kind of a joke until they found something real, and they were like, "Oh my God, Bell's telling the truth."
Hold on, I got one that I don't know if you can tell us, but I will. Remember the girl? They went out to the certain spot that they were told to go to. And then,
no, we can't talk about
that. That's it.
We can't talk about that.
That's what they talk about.
That's what they told me. I can't publicly talk about. Right?
No. Yeah.
But needless to say, they thought it was a joke until they found stuff that gave them like the heebie-jeebies, and they were like, "Oh my God, this stuff is for real." So they started seeing it in a whole different light. But anyway, yeah, they did the show. I did another show on my channel at Harbinger Report on YouTube, where Joe came back on after the show. And I went through the whole story with Joe. I showed the pistol he used. It's a great story. And basically, he was a truck driver in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Is that still up? Yeah, that one's still up. It should be. I'll double check because they keep removing stuff daily. But it should still be up.
Drop a link in the chat to that show so people can go over and it should let you drop.
But yeah, truck driver Joe, a dog man attacked his rig, his 18-wheeler, was trying to climb in his passenger side. And he said that the head was 2 feet wide. It took up his whole window. He said the muzzle was the size of a military ammo can. He says that's how long it was. And he said the thing reached its hand in, and he says if it spread its fingers wide, it was about the same size as his steering wheel, which is 20 inches. And he said, man, this thing was so big. He says, understand, I'm 9 feet off the ground in my rig, and this thing was bending down to get inside. So it was taller than like 10 feet tall. And he said, and this was interesting, he heard a voice in his head saying, I got you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And
that sounds so familiar.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So he says, all right, I got something for you. He reached in between his console and his seat, and he pulls out a hand cannon. He had a Smith & Wesson 45-70 revolver, all right? And he aims it and shoots the thing twice, point blank, hit it one time right in the eye socket. He said he saw it fall out the rig, and he saw in the mirror its leg was kicking like this. And he turned around at a turnaround up ahead and came right back. He said the thing was gone, and he doesn't know how because it was probably 2 tons, he would guess, in weight. And he said, but there were 2 people who later were identified as federal agents standing there, scratching their head, holding some weird device in their hand.
Oh, my God.
A year later, he got stopped at a way station by state police, and 2 agents approached themselves, claiming to be Homeland. And he said that they were irate with him. And he's like, why are you upset with me? And they said, you know why. And he's like, dude, I need something to go on. I have no idea what you're talking about. And they said, because you killed our asset.
Well, they need to go listen to that over there and give you some views. And I've heard that story. I've actually met the man when we went to the conference in the Dog Man conference we all went to.
Yep.
I don't know. I ain't gonna say it because I ain't trying to. I don't know.
I have a
Anyway,
question. Can I ask John real quick, please? You said that the dog thing weighed 2 tons.
Well, I was guessing because he said it was over 10 feet tall. So he thought it weighed a considerable amount of weight.
This isn't a dire wolf we're talking about. This is something with hands. This is
No,
different.
this had hands and it was reaching inside the cab of his vehicle. Yeah, and this thing was over 10 feet tall. No dire wolf's 10 feet tall. Even though
no.
they're huge.
Yeah, that Smith and Wesson makes a 45-70 pistol, Ruger.
I held it in my hand and I got photos of it on my show.
What's
There's
the recoil on that
H&R makes one too, a single shot.
Vault, what's the recoil on that?
A lot. That's a cannon.
Yeah.
An experienced shooter would have a hard time with that.
Yeah, it's a monster.
It's a monster.
I've shot monsters with 2 hands at the range, and after shooting it once, I don't want to shoot it anymore. So now you're talking about someone who shot one with 1 hand?
This is a 45-70 pistol, not revolver.
Well,
yeah, it was a revolver, but it was a pistol revolver. And,
this is the other thing. Hey, Larry, you see what I did, didn't you? I had to wait till I come on to do that. But anyway, the Catt shoots a 350 Legend and for deer hunting and stuff. It's bigger than that to let you to understand what I'm talking about, cartridge wise, and it's a 45 caliber bullet in the case is the 70. It holds like 70 grains of powder. That's where it got its name from.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Did I get bounced?
No, I can still see you. Can y'all?
Everything froze on my end.
Yeah, John's frozen.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that round was created for killing buffalo back in the day. That's what they hunted buffalo with, just to give you an idea.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. Like that's bigger than your hunting round.
So I would imagine that Joe lost his hearing for a little while after that.
Yeah, it don't make a difference what kind of gun it is. If it goes off inside a closed-in area, it's loud.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But I got one that I wanted Catt to do because everybody's fixing to start seeing the evidence that we have been gathering. And this is the thing, we wasn't even trying. We leased a property, and when I tell all of y'all, let's put it this way, it's close to Taylor, Mississippi. But anyway,
you say too much, people will get hemmed up for going there.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's better not to mention where. You can mention the state, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, no, it's close to Taylor, but you don't know which side of Taylor. That's close enough. You don't want to go there because it ain't just a squatches you've got to worry about. There is a whole generational family that lived there. And if you pull up there, they're going to know it. Somebody's going to come ask questions.
I see that's the thing too I've learned about since I've left Florida is that living in Mississippi and Tennessee and every place like that, you cannot just go onto someone's property. Even just turn the car around. If I made a wrong turn, a Vault's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that here. And I'm like, I just need to turn the car around. No, you can't do that.
No, we're going down the road.
You can't do certain things. So for these people who want to come out and look, you know, where we're looking, please don't do that. Please don't think you can. Please don't.
Well, I said, we have a private lease, and I will let people know we're going to call that private lease. We're going to call it Vault's Farm. That way, our Tucker Farm. Yeah, Tucker Farm. That's what we're going to call it. That way, nobody gets confused if it's footage from, because we're over in Shelby National Forest too, and there's a whole lots of strange weirdness there, but we're out looking on this property, and this is a story I want to get Catt to tell, because like I said, Nobody had said anything about squatches or nothing else. This is the first time we're walking over the property, so I can show Catt what to start looking for deer. And there's a ridge that we parked, went through a little field, and there's a ridge that you got, this little road runs down. And we had walked down this ridge, I told her, and it's about 150 yards from the top of this ridge down a slope to a field that they grow soybeans or corn. It switched out. But it has these ditch. You know how in between the fields, it'll have a wind ditch. It'll have a couple of trees, to help block the wind, and water can go down through the ditch for runoff and stuff. Well, that's like at the end. We're probably 250 yards from that. Plus, we're on top of the ridge, so we're 150 yards more than likely from where we are to the bottom. And that's part of the story that needs to be understood, how close we were. You want to tell the story, Catt?
Yeah, I can, because we were out there during the day and it was beautiful out, and we were getting, ready for hunting season and deciding where we're going to put things. And so we're walking on the ridge, and all of a sudden, off to my right, the big vines that come down from trees, something big was tangled in these vines, and I stopped walking and I turned to look. And as I turned to look, it was tearing. It's whatever it was, got tangled in the vines, was trying to tear through the vines, and all of a sudden the whole tree came down. And the tree came down to where it broke. This is a big, mature, huge tree. It broke, and then it got stuck on another tree. And the thing that I saw was something big and black, and it had, all I saw was a little piece of it. It had run off into the what was it? The pasture, not the pasture, the farm, and had gotten into a grove of little outlet trees out there, and it had stopped.
That's the field and the ditch that I was talking about. He hit that ditch, went down in it, and went up that ditch to another outlet. But the trees she's talking about, it tore down now. These are big giant kudzu vines and grapevines that are all kind of growing together. And the tree is about, 10 inches around. It's a red oak tree, and it's about 50 foot tall to the first, and the first limb's probably 30 foot in the air. And these vines are wrapping around the tree and around the limb. And when it first started, the first thing that we heard was that big limb. I'm talking about a limb now. The first limb is like that big around. It ripped it off like you were just grabbing a stem off a daisy and going bloop. It just ripped that off. And then the tree started jerking like this, because you know how there's vines up in a tree, as it's pulling, some of them are turning loose, and then the vine are catching. The whole tree was doing like that. And then all of a sudden the whole tree just come root ball and all up, and it's hauling butt. And I'm thinking it's anywhere between what, Catt, 8 foot to 10 foot tall.
It was hard to tell, but it was massive. And as this was all happening, I'm just frozen, because it was like, it was a shock to see whatever it was. You had to stop, because it was something huge, and you want to see which way it's going. Is it coming towards me? Is it going away? And we didn't have any. You had your sidearm, I think, and that's about it. But that was beside the point. It was like, what is this? It happened so fast, and why did this tree just fall over? And I looked at you, and you said, "Let's go this way," and we walked in a different direction.
Well, it's running from us. It took off. This is the thing. I already understood what I saw, because stand a sheet of plywood up on its side. That's the tallness, and that's the width of the shoulders. So I already have a good idea of what this is. And it's going that way with a purpose. So let's say it's scared for whatever reason. It may not have been, but we're going to say that. You have an animal that's scared. We keep going that direction. It has two choices now. It can keep running or turn around and fight. I wasn't prepared for a fight. So I thought it was a better idea to turn around and go back the direction we came. We actually crossed the road and went to the other side. So you can have that side. You ain't got to worry. We ain't gonna bother you. And that side, we actually call it Squirrel Hill for Catt because she named it. She got to pick that spot out. There is a fence line that runs through the woods right there. It's another probably 200-yard drop to going down to a valley, and then it goes back up about that far and crosses another hill where there's a fence that runs, an old fence, that's in more pieces and parts than in some places than anything. Well, we're going down through there, and Catt looks over, and in the wind, you can see hair about that long, just glistening and blowing, and it'll shine. And then all of a sudden, you don't see. I said, so she started going through collecting hairs. And I told her, I was like, don't touch nothing you don't want to get rid of. And what happened?
Oh, I'm collecting all the hair. I'm going up and down the fence line. And I'm finding so much. I couldn't stop. And I had my ball cap on, my Carhartt ball cap, and I loved that one. It was my favorite. Thank God I had two of them. But anyway, as I'm collecting the hair, I always fix my hat. It's kind of hot out there. So I had to turn my cap backwards because I really wanted to get up close. And I got my reading glasses on, and I'm looking at the barbed wire. I look like a fool out there collecting all this hair. And I kept touching my hat. And we went out to a diner afterwards because we're out in nowhere land, right? This little tiny truck stop diner.
It was a truck stop diner.
Yeah. So I pull out this hair and I said, I got to look at this. I started taking pictures of it. And I'm getting ready to eat, right? And I had already washed my hands. And I looked at Walt and I said, oh my God. I said, did my cat spray my hat? What? It stings. What stings? He goes, it's the hair. And I said, no way. For days afterwards, I wore that hat to work, right? And I kept turning my head, looking at this or looking at that. And I'm like, God bless America, that it's on my hat. I had to throw that hat away. The hair smelled so bad. And what bothered me the most, this is what people don't tell you, and they should tell you. When you collect hair on a barbed wire fence, you're collecting it from where they step over the fence. So what does that mean? You're getting it from in between their legs. So I'm grabbing on all this pee-pee hair. And I had pee-pee all over my hands, my hat, in my hair. It took weeks. Weeks to get that out of my nose.
That's why.
And then I gave it to Larry. So congratulations.
That's why I said don't touch anything you don't want to lose.
Oh God, it stunk so bad. So now Larry's got it.
Yeah, she gave it to Larry, and this is the thing. Larry's like, you want it back? Larry's like, no, I can go. She can go get more anytime she wants. She cleaned that whole fence line off the first time. We go back out there probably 3 days later because we came back because I'd picked some spots to set a stand. We go back out there, she immediately goes over, and it's hair all up and down back through there again.
And I'll tell you what, the funny thing is the hair that I took pictures of, and I still have pictures of it, which we can share eventually. They're auburn, they're black, they're polar bear white, which is clear. And the funny thing is too, is I set it down in the diner. I put it on a cloth, a blue cloth. And I took pictures of it, and those black hairs, they look like cord. They're real super black and long and thick and coarse. When you magnify them and you take with a flash of light, there's purple color that reflects. there's green, there's gray, there's copper, there's red, there's blue. I started to cry. I did. I looked at James. I said, I started to cry. I said, this is so beautiful. I've never seen anything so beautiful. And then I kept taking pictures. And here I got my food delivered. I don't even care about my food. And I put the clear hair had fallen over the black hair. And when I took a picture with the flash, the clear hair, the white one, you could not see the black one behind it.
It disappears. This is stuff I was trying to explain to people before. Didn't really understand how to explain it. And now y'all need to understand what Catt does for a living. Catt is she works with DNA, RNA, all different kind of stuff like that, finding different cancer cells and finding ways to make cancer cells show up. She's a scientist. So she understands the scientific. So anybody says, well, what does your country ass know about science? I don't. She does. And she's helped me explain a lot to me. But like I said, a lot of people say these things cloak. They're not cloaking. And I didn't have a way to explain it before. What it's doing is the military actually came out with a version of this themselves. It's electrical camouflage. And what it does is it mimics whatever is the environment around you. And all camouflage has to do is break your shape up. So if you're standing against something that is black and brown, if you're the same color as it, you can't be seen. You didn't cloak. It's just camouflage. People forget how good camouflaged most animals are.
And the thing that I started to get, I started to cry, and you were like, calm down. I'm in a truck stop, calm down. But at that moment, the clarity of so much all happened at once. It's like you spend 20 years working on something, you research all over the world from your home, you go into down all these different rabbit holes, you hear all these different theories. And it takes a moment, it takes a second for another puzzle piece to come into place. At that moment, taking pictures of that hair, seeing how that clear hair landed over the dark hair, how the dark hair disappeared, I could see how in light, in photographs, they could look like they disappear or they cloak. What their hair does, how it reflects the light, and what it does to the hair behind it.
Well, hold on. We need to explain something. The hairs are basically individual prisms. Now, I didn't understand this until Catt was explaining it to me. Because depending on what kind of light source you use, and if you apply electricity to it, because John, what makes the hair on your arm stand up when you get the goosebumps?
I have no idea.
It's electricity. Your body's producing electricity.
Right.
And let's say you got every hair on your arm now is a prism. What does light do when it goes through a prism? It bends and changes. Well, if it's going through what, I don't know, because I've never seen it before. I don't think nobody's ever tried it. But let's say you put light through 6 different prisms, and there's a lot more going to be than 6 hairs hanging down. Yep. But you put that light through 6 different prisms, it's bouncing off and changing, and it will look like a glimmer or whatever, because it's putting out all different kinds of light. And I believe, say that again.
And in different directions, so it's refracting and reflecting, and
in the way people's eyes see, the rods in your eyes, it makes a difference. And that's like, y'all, this means nothing to nobody else but me. A lot of people, John, Larry, a couple other people that are probably here, knows that I lost my peripheral vision in this eye years ago. I couldn't see but from here around. And I had corrective eye surgery back April the 1st on this eye. They went in there and fixed my cornea, retina, or however. They fixed a bunch of stuff. Then they pulled out the lens that was in there and put a new lens in. And wasn't fun because I can't be sedated right now anymore. So I had eye surgery done with no anesthesia and no pain medicine. I do not suggest it, but I actually got my peripheral vision back and I see better now, especially at distance, than when I was a kid. And what was funny was I told Catt when I come back, because that night, no, the next day, wasn't it, Catt, that they took the bandage off and let me look through my eye, and it wasn't it the next day?
It was the next day.
Yeah, like I said, it was April 1st, and well, that day was April the 2nd, and the colors and stuff that I saw, I told her, I said, I think they put the wrong damn lens in. I think they put a high definition or something, and because now I can strike a lighter and I can see the individual flame of that lighter, the different heat zones of that lighter as it's sitting in front of my face. Like I said, then April what, the 28th, I think it was.
It was a few weeks later.
Yeah, that was the left eye, the first eye. Then I had them do the right eye. And yeah, because I was Google-eyed. I could see far away with this eye, and then I couldn't, I could see close up with this eye. So yeah, that wasn't fun for a couple of weeks. But now I only have to have reading glasses to like read the screen on this right here. I'm looking across the room at another TV, and that's perfectly fine. It's from like the end of my hand to my eyes that I have to have like a 0.2 or whatever it is reading glasses. And it's amazing what they can do now. Like I said, now I had both of mine done. I could watch that's the freakiest thing is you're laying there because they hold your eye open. I'm awake. And I swear, I told Catt, I said, I swear that dude was using Jason Voorhees' machete to do my eye surgery with. But I said, that's, I know nobody cares about that other than me, but
no, we care about that. I care about that because we've been through a lot since we've last been on, and since we've, you know what I mean, since we last were on. Anyway, the past few years, it's been a roller coaster, and you've been through a lot, and you decided you wanted to come back, and here you are, and hopefully, everyone appreciates that, and it's fun for you.
Yeah. Well, last year the Catt found this out. John, who are the most people that see or have encounters in the woods?
Bow hunters.
And I happen to absolutely love to bow hunt. I actually got back into it, and that's been part of my recovery and therapy. Catt has gotten into it now. She shoots a crossbow. Because her shoulders won't let her shoot a traditional. But
I shoot a crossbow too, an Excalibur. But I showed you my bows today.
Yeah, your bows are awesome.
Yeah.
Sitting right over there is my baby. That's I have I'm shooting for Matthews. Is who I shoot for. And I got the pleasure of going out there, and I had one of the great guru. If anybody knows T-Bone, what's the other guy's name? Crap, Michael Waddell and all of them. This guy is right up there with them. Is my bow tech, and he's over in the Shelby. He's actually over at Shelby Archery. I shoot a Matthews. Sitting right over there is a Matthews Arc 34, fully set up through Matthews. And that is, well, I'm shooting. If anybody shoots bows, you'll understand this. I'm shooting, I have a 27-inch draw. I'm only shooting 60 pounds. You know what my bow is shooting, Bell?
What's that?
268 feet a second.
Nice.
And that's with 60 pound, like I said, a 27-inch draw with 60 pounds. That's rocking fast.
Yeah. I shoot I'm Team Hoyt, and I've got a Hoyt Carbon Spider, and I got it set to 80 pounds at 28, 29-inch draw.
I can go all the way up to 80 pounds by just changing 2 mods, and it doesn't change my draw, the draw length. And I know we put 70 pounders on. And
you don't even need that much, though, for people to understand. I hunt with recurve bows, which is just a stick and a string, and I think I hunt with those at about 50 to 55 pounds.
Yeah. Well, at 70, that thing's pushing 320 feet per second with a 418 grain arrow. That's raw tipping arrow, but you don't need it. The other thing is the sights on the bow. I have a oh crap! I can't remember I can't remember the damn name of it over there. But anyway, it's a dial sight. I shoot 3 vertical pins. That's what I like. Look, 20, 30, and 40. Then I can take and hit a button up there and unlock it, and I can roll it down. I can shoot all the way out to 130 yards. Will I do that? Hell no.
Right.
40 yards to me is that's about the range of it, especially that bow. I don't have a problem shooting 40 yards with that bow at that distance because I've got the speed, the penetration, everything to get there.
Right.
But anyway, we done got on bow stuff, and
no, you did. Anyway, why are the people who have the most encounters bow hunters? Why isn't it regular, rifle hunters?
I tell you, a lot of research from that comes from David Pilates at 411 and his research he's done for disappearances. And he did disappearances, especially on hunters, and amongst hunters, bow hunters by far were the ones missing the most. And of course, the speculation is that these guys are having encounters with creatures and know they're only hunting with an arrow and not a gun.
Well, I explained it this way to Catt. When the colonists come over here to take over everything, what were the natives that lived here using? They were using spears. They were using a form of an atlatl. I forgot the name of it. And they were using bows. The other people that came over brought more long bows. They even brought some crossbows. But so these things, since, let's say, we're just going to go back this far. Since Christopher Columbus got here, these things are used to seeing man run around with a spear, a stick, and a bow. So they know what they are. They know probably their range. Most of what they were shooting, probably, because you hear about their arrows or the spears wouldn't penetrate. They have a name, and I can't remember, the clay men or stone men. I think it was. I'm sorry. I
it was the stone men.
The what?
I think it was the stone men.
Yeah, that said that arrows nor spears could penetrate their hide, and they were known to come into villages and take horses, women, men, children. Well, now we go forward to primitive weapons and modern weapons, they know what a gun is. Most definitely know what a gun is. Like I said, we had one come up and watch me and Catt, and the guy that we leased from, him and another friend of ours, we're out there shooting. One come up probably was 50 yards from us while we're shooting, and I'm talking about we're firing several hundred rounds down range. They understand, but see, most people first off don't have the caliber to hurt them right then. You probably will cause significant damage. Let's say you shoot them with a 9mm, 45, whatever. You probably are going to give them significant damage, and they may even die later because of circumstances of that. But they're not going to die right then. And you're probably going to. But most people don't have, and the thing is, shooting them where you would shoot people ain't effective. I've said that for years, and Catt, I think, understands that now. You have to fix it where the advantage is to you. And I'm not going to go into that tonight here, but on one of the other streams we will, because that's probably going to get me hit. But anyway, I don't care. But like I said, that's the reason why I believe they understand what a bow is. These things are not stupid. They're very intelligent.
So I guess bow hunters are easy targets for them.
Yeah. So if you're going to be bow hunting, carry a very large gun with you, and then bow hunt all you want.
Yeah,
I carry a 45-70 lever action.
Yeah, I carry a handgun. Catt carries a handgun.
But I even understand it that the handguns we carry aren't good enough after seeing them.
No, it may make them. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a male and you get hit in the gonads, you probably don't want to play no more. You're not wanting to fight. You're not wanting to eat me. You're wanting to go somewhere else because you just got a what is it called, a
circumcision?
Yeah, you just no, not a circumcision. You just got a where you get
castration.
There you go.
That too, but you ain't gonna be in. I don't think you're gonna be in the mood to eat, fight, or nothing else no more.
I think you're thinking about neutered.
Yeah, neutered. That's it, neutered. But that's why I've told Catt, aim for the pelvis and lower and pelvis to knees and pelvis. Like I said, all that, because
soft tissue.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, they're gonna be charging at you probably on our fours, going up and down. You're gonna be freaking out. Good luck.
That's what people don't understand. I mean, it takes an expert to shoot something under pressure while something's coming at you that fast when your life's on the line. Most, I study bear encounters to try to get accurate ideas on how to handle this stuff. And most like Alaskan bear hunters, even like absolute pros, they get off like 2 rounds.
Yeah,
you got 2 rounds.
They're going to get attacked. Even if they hit it, they're going to get attacked.
Well, you're supposed to. You should drop down to one knee and get low and fire, because you're less likely and get straight on with it. You're less likely to miss, but that's taking up time. This stuff is going on. And that's the other thing. When most people go to the range, what do? They do this at a static target and they aim and squeeze and pull it. That's not the way it happens. That's not the way a self-defense situation happens.
I got yelled at the last time I went to a range because some old man working at the range was saying I was firing too fast. I'm like,
they do that to me all the time.
I said, when you're defending your life, you think you're going to be firing slow? You got to practice for that. That means you got to fire fast. You got to draw fast. You got to fire fast.
Yep. That's the other thing too. They don't allow you to do at the range. You don't draw.
No, that's the reason why we built our own, and like I said, I got Catt out there, and I started doing dynamic shooting on. They don't allow you to shoot still either, and I wanted her to understand the shooting the still, the feedback and stuff you get. She also learned getting too
feedback.
close.
I was shooting close, and I got bit by the shrapnel. Yep.
You got to learn to shoot under pressure too. They would smoke us in the police academy. They would smoke you to get your blood pressure up and high, and you're exhausted and breathing heavy, and then you got cadre screaming in your face as you're trying to make your shots, just to try to simulate some stress.
Yeah, see, to honestly, for most hunters out there, you want to simulate something like that, because if you do have a big cat come after you, if you do have a bear come after you, you want to be prepared for that. You're up in a tree, you're staying still, you have no place, you have nowhere to go. What are you going to do?
I've had bears claw up the tree when I was while I was in the stand. I smacked them, but I'm a little weird though. But
But if you have something bigger than that coming at you and you're in shock because you don't know what you're seeing, you have to react. What are you going to do? That's just a whole other story to get into. But anyway.
Right.
Like I said, prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
That's what we were taught in military and in law enforcement. That's the philosophy. We prepare for that 20% of the time. 80% of the time you're covered, but we prepare for the 20, which is hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, and then you're always covered.
And 1 is none, and 2 is 1, and usually 2 is 1.
And 3 is better.
Yeah, 3 is best. That's a lot of stuff to carry. I tell you that much.
Hey, when you carry stuff in the field, it gets heavy fast.
Man,
Catt asked me when the first time we went out. She looked at me because I'm got her bag. I'm putting this on and now. She goes, "Did you just bring me for the pack mule?" I said, "That's just your stuff. I got mine over here."
Man, going up and down the hollows and the hills in Mississippi. There was a couple times, John, I went down to my knees, and I was on my hands and knees and to get back up. And I was like, I need a break. It's just too much, but you have to have it.
Right.
Well, I'm talking about if something happens to you or whatever, you need first aid. We carry water, extra stuff to drink. We carry
water is so heavy. Water is the worst thing to carry. It's the heaviest, but you have to have it.
Yeah.
Look, this is the funniest thing. Catt, what were you doing for the last 2 years? Now, I don't just kill to kill, or harvest an animal, whatever you want to call it. Last 2 years, I've harvested an animal each year. What were you doing both times that I shot a deer?
Eating a tortilla and just eat. Just grab something to eat because we're sitting there for so long. And as soon as I stuck that in my mouth, I had 2 of them and was tying the bag up. Then it was time to shoot, and I had tortillas stuck in my mouth. I had to immediately put my fingers in my ears, and and you're ready to go. Yeah.
But that last year was the last year, and in the middle of the year, I had some complications, so we didn't get to hunt as much as what we wanted. But I think that last year was the last year that I'm probably going to rifle hunt. I'm going back strictly nothing but bow. And some of the areas that we're going to be going in, like Shelby National Forest, you can hunt it, but you have to either bow hunt it, shotgun hunt it, or muzzleload. And I would rather bow hunt it. It's funner.
To me, rifle's too easy. I like the challenge of bow hunting. And most times, I'll be honest, I get skunked. But you know what? Like Walt was talking earlier, I care more of just being in nature and being out there and the animals. And I am not a sport hunter at all. I only hunt for food.
There you go.
Look, Catt, how many different? Last year was the first year she went up in a stand by herself, hunted by herself. She felt comfortable. y'all, the smile that I seen, she didn't shoot it, nothing, but she's crossbow hunting, and she gets down, and I'm like, what? She goes, I seen the most beautiful little red fox come through here.
It wasn't just a red fox, it was a burgundy fox. That fox was burgundy in the woods with little black legs and white. It looked perfect. It was like a cartoon. I'd never seen that before. Then I got to see babies, two little baby deer with their mama. They went through one way, and then a little bit later, they came back through the other way. And they didn't
come right by me.
Yep. Didn't even see me. And then when you started shooting down there, it sounded like Squatch was down there. I was like, oh heck, he's getting attacked by a Squatch, and I had to sit up there in that tree. Yeah. A bunch of chaos broke out. But we won't talk about that.
No, I'm still upset about that.
I know. The one that got away.
Well, yeah. Anyway, I had an Italian. That's an Italian deer. I still got it out for that deer. I still will recognize that deer.
Yeah, we'll get it. But I got to get off here, honey. And thank you, John, for coming on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. We stayed on longer than I thought. That's only because I was having technical difficulties to doing it. Like I said, switching from one system that you've always used from Windows to Apple. Yeah, that's just learning how to use a damn Apple phone was hard enough. It took me a week to do that.
You're still learning it. What are you talking about? Hey. All right, good everybody. I'm out. Good night, y'all.
Night.
Well, John, I think we did pretty good for the first night back.
Yeah.
And
sure.
There's hold on, Miss Crystal. Hold on. I got to go over there. You stay still. That's my little buddy, Caesar. That's a picture of. That's my coffee drinking buddy.
Okay.
I think I did this right. If I didn't, John did it.
That's right.
But type again, Miss Crystal. I'll see if I did that right. Oh, okay. Yep. Miss Crystal, wait for her to type. Yeah, I know what it's supposed to look like with Catt. Yeah. Okay. But like I said, swapping over has been a pain in the rear. But
yeah. Right.
But I like it better. To be honest, I did not realize how secure the Apple system and the Apple ecosystem works and fixed.
That's why the government all uses Apples.
Well, I got the Apple Pro 3s. Do you know these right here are classified as hearing aids?
No, did not know that.
They actually sound deadening. You can use them for shooting and stuff because the passive hearing set, like you can have them in and they're more comfortable than these things.
Right.
As soon as it hits anything over, I think it's 55 or 60 decibels, they'll instantly shut off.
Right.
But they work as like they'll amplify hearing because I'm still deaf in this freaking ear right here, and I can put those in,
right,
and it will actually go up because you literally have to take a hearing test if you're using them on the iPhone, and it plays tones and stuff, and it will amplify up and down to fit both sides. To me, it's worth it just for this. But like I said, the whole system, I understand it now, and it is I'm not getting bombarded by when I cut my computer on. There's 17 ads already sitting in just the Windows startup. Would you like to get Microsoft 360? Would you like McAfee? I don't get all that.
Yep.
It's because I have right over there a Lenovo. hold on. It's a Lenovo Yoga. I had to look over there to see. It's a Lenovo Yoga 9 with the Intel Ultra 7 processor and the ARC Intel graphics and 32 gigs of RAM. And I don't even use it no more because, like I said, and it's got the stylus, the touch, that's the pencil that goes with like the Apple stuff. And you do all, I don't use it because I'd rather use the Mac stuff. Sending files and folders back and forth. Simple AirDrop. I don't have to connect nothing. I don't have to do nothing. And I've got a portable dock station. I have a monitor right here, a Samsung, just regular monitor right here. I've got the computer screen, and I'm wirelessly throwing it to a 65-inch TV over here.
Right.
So, well, the only thing is I am using a mouse, a Bluetooth mouse, but I don't use but the thumb button. This is one that's got the roller for the thumb right here. I don't even use the front, but I use one button like on the regular mouse, and it does everything I need it to do. But the touchpad being able to open with 3 fingers man, Windows don't do that.
Right.
And editing is so much easier and better. It just I'd have switched years ago if I wouldn't have been so damn hard headed.
Right. You hard headed? Come on.
My grandpa used to say my head was harder than a woodpecker's lips. Well, John, I think we're gonna cut this one down, and the next show, y'all need to go over to. You need to leave a link to your channel in the chat. They need to go over there. If they are subscribed, they need to. If you're subscribed here, you might need to, or anywhere that we hadn't been on for a while. Go to the subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and click the bell. That way, it redoes, resets you getting notifications. And
yeah, so I'm at Harbinger Report at YouTube. I put that in the comments, and the movie from Booger Valley that we're making is beforedarkmovie.com. beforedarkmovie.com. I tried to put it in the chat, and it kept denying it because I was putting a link. So
well, hold on. Type in the chat, and I can make you a moderator, and then you can put it in there.
Yeah, I already put it. I put it in there and told everybody. I just broke it up. So just beforedarkmovie.com and Harbinger Report YouTube. That's it.
I don't see it in the chat.
Do you know?
Hold on. I gotta put my specs on.
I'm the pirate.
Huh?
I'm the pirate.
Oh, shit! I didn't know. You're
I'm Johnny B. the pirate. Johnny B. the pirate.
Hold on a second. I think I can fix it. See if that works now.
Okay.
Put a link in there and see if that goes through. I don't know why it's faster through the StreamYard side, and YouTube is catching up.
Okay.
Yep. Now it's going through. I hope y'all been entertained, and that's the whole purpose of doing this. Whatever we're doing, we're trying to entertain y'all, and this is entertaining to me, and it's fun for me. Yeah. Hey, if you got to wear reading glasses, I suggest getting some of these. These are wicked. You can actually adjust them different ways. I can adjust the legs. And if glasses hold up to me, they're worth something. All you do is, if you want them on, click them on. You want them off, you do that, and they automatically lock together and stay right. They're always with you.
Yep.
I spent more time the first month taking glasses out of my pocket, putting them on, taking them off. There we go. But y'all go over to the Harbinger Report and make sure y'all subscribe, click the notification bell, because he's fixing to start putting stuff up. He said if I came back, started doing stuff, he'd start doing stuff. So
yeah, and I'm working on doing like you're doing with either the Patreon, or I'm talking to a buddy in Hollywood about just building my own site. Whatever I can do for an affordability and for having the most volume of information with that's affordable to handle or moderate. But yeah, I'm doing the same thing, because the reason I stopped is I'm just sick of YouTube taking my shows down.
well,
And
I have another channel too that nobody knows about. And hold on, I'm gonna put a link to it. I started a hunting and fishing channel before I did anything else. And the reason why, like I said, I actually, this, I had no intentions of coming back. Let me go. I don't have that many people on there. The name of the channel. Hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out why it's not. There we go. The name of the channel is Hooked Down and Dirty. If you go there and watch, you'll see me. Oh shit. Well, as soon as I stop clicking the wrong dang button, I'm fixing to put a link to that in the. I said, still learning how to use this dang thing, so. I don't know why it's being so dang ornery and not wanting me to. Oh, that's why I had the dang thing disabled. That was my stupidness. All right, let's go back over here and try this again. There y'all go. Y'all gonna see a bunch of hunting stuff and everything over here. And I actually am working on a website that is just for that, because I Hooked Down and Dirty, I LLC'd it. That is an actual company in the state of Mississippi. It does have a brick and mortar address. I ain't putting it out there yet. But that is another channel that I own. Like I said, I was just going to do stuff like that. But like I said, if y'all want something else to watch, there's not a whole lot there, because I'm actually building this and that at the same time. And really, right after I started that, you remember, John, we wound up moving because the guy that owned the house we were at sold the house, so we had to move. Look, y'all, recovery, that's the thing. I had a 10-acre lake right out my back door. So I stood out there on the bank and learned to cast just about every kind of dang rod and reel there is. And I did not realize how much of a workout doing this was. And talked to God a lot and fished and caught a lot of lovely fish. And like I said, that's what made me want to get back out in there. And then we started having the stuff to go on with the squatches and stuff at our hunting site. When Catt, like I said, when she found the hair and all that, she just got so excited. She goes, "This is what you was trying to explain to people." I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I don't." A lot of people used to say, "Oh, he's a know-it-all." No, I just had a lot of opportunity around these things, and then the way I look at the world is probably weird, and I just figured out a bunch of stuff that nobody probably ever it wasn't important enough to pay attention to. Like I said, they look at the hair and they send the hair off to study and stuff, but we put it under magnification. We put different lights behind it. The other thing is the smell. Larry will tell you, even now, and that was collected back in October. That hair right there was that she gave Larry. And if you open that bag, yeah, you know you opened it. But I think we're going to end this here, John, and the next time we're going to go over to your channel.
Sounds good. I look forward to it.
What? Balt and Chris have talked to Holly? Who? I don't know who you're talking about, Car Wash or Car Washington. I can't see that over here. Gotta be. Who are we talking about? Who's Holly? I'm trying to figure that one out.
I'm gonna get going.
I thank
Thanks
you.
for having me on, Vault. And yeah, we'll get together soon.
You were my first guest on the first show back, so
And
I thought it was fitting.
You'll be my first guest back on mine too. All right, y'all have a good night. Good seeing everybody. Bye-bye.
See y'all later. Y'all, we're gonna call it right here. I hope y'all like that song that we've been doing. I got a couple more that's coming. I'm gonna try to get the video finished and up where Catt has read the first encounter story. Okay. You know who that is, Larry? Okay. But I'm gonna try to get that up. I have another video I'm trying to get together on the first show that I wanted to do over in Shelby, which is the Tennessee Wildman. Says you probably gonna have to go to the subscribe button thing, mash these, unsubscribe and resubscribe and hit the bell, because they turn it off or kick you out of it whenever I haven't posted in a while or you haven't went and watched. Well, I thank all of y'all, and until next time. Huh? Oh. All right, yeah. I already got people. I appreciate y'all, and until next time, remember, we nightmares.